Hi, Movies Recap here. Today, I'm going to explain a picture based on the real-life story of the youngest warrior of World War II called Soldier Boy. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie starts in Russia, where a family of three sit by the river, enjoying their time. The youngest of them, Sergei Aleshkov, boasts to his older brother and mother about him being on top of a tree, when suddenly, German fighter jets fly overhead. The mother asks her kids to quickly hide in the bushes, but the 6-year-old says he is not scared and strikes the jet with a slingshot. To everyone's surprise, he manages to hit the jets and explode them. But when he looks around, his family is gone. Sergei wakes up scared from the dream and calls for his mother. Just then, someone knocks on his door. Assuming it is his mother, he runs towards it, but a neighbor woman comes in frightened. She thanks God for keeping him alive and tells him that his mother and brother are dead. The little boy cannot understand what she is saying and wants to stay in the house to wait for his mother. The woman tells him that the Germans have attacked them and that he should run away. Just then, some troops approach their house. The woman makes Sergei run out through the window but is shot dead before she can join him. The little 6-year-old is now on his own, with no family and friends. As Sergei runs away from the house, he sees his whole neighborhood burning behind him. He calls for his mother in vain and runs away from there. After running for a while, he ends up in the middle of the woods. The little kid starts to call for his mother to come and get him, because he is lost. That night, he stays in the jungle. The following morning, we see him drink water from a river when the enemy troops approach his way. Sergei, knowing that they are dangerous, quickly hides inside a tree's roots. He is startled when a snake comes close, but doesn't utter a word or run away. Sergei is more scared of the soldiers than of the snake. The troops eat by the river and go away, after which Sergei takes their leftover food and devours it for the night. However, by the end of the day, the little boy is tired. He hasn't had a proper meal in 2 days and has been walking with no direction. He falls down as he limps but doesn't stop going. While on his way, he sees wild berries and devours them. But just then, an explosion happens behind him, taking him by surprise. The boy gets dizzy and starts to imagine someone coming behind him. However, even in such conditions, he stands brave and tells the person he has a rifle and is not scared. He limps forward but falls asleep after a while. While he is asleep, 2 troops approach him. The scene cuts to the Russian army base, where Commander Kuznetsov waits for his patrolmen. They come in with the little kid who is hurt and weak. When the soldiers say they are on his side, the little boy opens up and introduces himself. The soldiers laugh when the kid shakes his hand with the leader, suggesting he introduce himself too. The guards feel affectionate with the little kid and circle him around. They make him drink water and feed him. Even the otherwise cold leader takes care of the kid. A nurse named Katya treats Sergei's wounds and is charmed by his personality too. The kid asks her to draw a tank on his wounds because he wants to be a fighter when he grows up. Even the injured troops talk to the kid and feel lighter. Sergei is fascinated with the commander's gun and his badge. The captain, too, answers all the little boy's questions and lets him play with his honorary pistol after taking the bullets out. Sergei shows him the tank drawn on his chest and boasts about being a soldier himself. The boy is healing very quickly. The nurse, Katya, asks the commander to let the boy stay with the battalion, but he disagrees, saying that it won't be safe. He wants to send Sergei to an orphanage. The men spend all their free time with Sergei. He is visited by many throughout the day. They bring him food sent by their families from away, and even let him play with their binoculars. One day, a soldier goes to the commander to ask him to let the boy stay with the company. The soldiers have grown a close link with the kid and think of him as their own. His appearance takes the weight of war off their chest. However, the captain is adamant about sending the boy to the orphanage for his own safety. The following day, the enemies attack, and many troops are hurt. A car comes to fetch Sergei to take him to the orphanage. The captain breaks the news to the kid and gives him a wooden honorary pistol as a gift. The boy in turn hugs him, saying that he is scared for the commander's safety. The commander melts in his hug and changes his mind. He asks Sergei to stay with the troops as his son. That night, the troops look for little soldier clothes for the little boy. They are over the moon to have Sergei stay with them. The captain wakes Sergei up and gives him the clothes. He wears them and runs around, looking like a real fighter. The others start calling him their little fighter boy. As the kid runs around, the Germans start an air attack on the battalion. The troops quickly take Sergei to a safe place and fight the others. The number of injured soldiers grows quickly. Sergei wants to make himself helpful, so he brings water to thirsty soldiers. One of them asks him to read a letter sent by his family because he has a bandage over his eyes. The little boy wants to help, but doesn't know how to read. He takes the letter and starts making up the things written on it, saying that the soldier's cow is safe back home. When the soldier says he doesn't have a cow, the others tell him to go along with the story and laugh. He reads everyone else's letters in the same way and cheers them up. In the following scene, we see Katya and the commander talking. The two seem to be attracted to each other, but do not admit their feelings. Later, Sergei tells the commander that he is of the orderly post in the battalion and starts introducing himself as one. However, the boy then sees one of the soldiers' station destroyed from the attack. The captain teaches him to take his hat off to pay respect to the dead soldier. The next day, he demands the commander give him a mission and is given a task to distribute the letters among the troops. He completes his job efficiently and even makes the soldiers dance for it. The following day, Sergei goes a little far from the base with his glasses. As he is playing with it, he sees someone's leg moving from inside a haystack. He runs back to the battalion and tells the soldiers about his findings. The troops are skeptical, but go with the boy anyway. When they reach near the haystack, they are alerted to see 2 German spies hiding underneath. The spies are caught, and the kid is praised for his intelligence. That night, the commander shows Sergei the formal papers for his adoption. He is now officially the kid's father. Sergei knows of the commander's feelings for Katya, so, to return his kindness, he takes him to confess to her. But the two see her talking to a different man and wrongfully think she is interested in someone else. The base is struck by the Germans again. This time, Sergei helps the soldiers with all his might by providing ammunition to the soldiers in the front line, but the soldiers there order him to go back to the shed because it is too dangerous outside. When he comes to the shed, he sees the commander and others panicking because the phone's link with the colonel is lost. A man is sent to fix the broken wires. Sergei follows the man and sees he has been fatally wounded. He asks the dying man how he can fix the wires and does it himself. The link comes back and more troops are called. The 6-year-old saves everyone's life. Later, we see the captain and Katya talking by the river. The captain finally confesses his love for her and asks her to be Sergei's mother. Katya is over the moon, but before she can say anything, a soldier approaches them and gives the captain a letter, saying they have been dispatched from the base. The following day, all the troops leave for their new base along with Sergei. However, on their way, they come across a minefield that blows off some of their cars. The leader is hurt, while the group's orderly, who Sergei was close with, dies in the explosion. He cries and hugs the leader. They carry the injured ones with them and continue their trip to their new base. When they finally reach the other base, they meet the commander's boss, the general. He too is impressed by the kid's drive and congratulates the commander for having such a smart kid. The following day, their division is given a guard's banner, and so is the boy. He vows to save his country when the general gives him his badge. One night, their base is struck brutally, and the commander is trapped under the ruins. Sergei cries for his father and tries to save him. He calls the other troops, who finally bring the commander out. The next day, Sergei approaches an injured commander. His hands were hurt while trying to save the commander. The kid is now an essential part of the team. He doesn't have a family beside them and moves wherever they go in the war. The movie finishes as the regiment is seen moving to another base. A voice in the background narrates that he even took part in the Stalingrad fight and reached Poland with the soldiers. He is currently known as the world's youngest soldier ever. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the station out. Thank you.